Pretty interesting, and it shows the extent of how much Charlie Kirk's views were changing prior to his assassination. After watching Tucker Carlson's interview with Ana Kasparian, he reached out to Tucker, telling him that he wanted to have Ana Kasparian on his show. Ana Kasparian revealed this today. Take a listen to this.
Look, I'll give you guys a little bit of background. I don't think that I'm disclosing anything that's not allowed. But if you guys can remember, I was on Tucker Carlson's show at one point this year. And I got a text message from Tucker Carlson shortly after it aired. And he told me that Charlie Kirk loved it. He thought it was an excellent conversation. And Charlie would like you to go on his show to talk about these issues. And so it was basically Tucker's way of letting me know that Charlie Kirk liked what I had to say about Israel and wanted to discuss it further on his podcast. Now, obviously, I hadn't gone on Charlie Kirk's podcast before he was assassinated, but I do think that he had criticisms of what Israel is carrying out in Gaza. He had been on the record. It was very vocal against invading Iran for a regime change war.
So I'll just stop right there. That's pretty shocking to see. We know that Charlie Kirk's views were changing, especially towards the end. He started becoming more vocal. I wouldn't say he was heavily criticizing Israel by all means, but then we did see those leaked text messages that Candace Owens released, and then eventually TPUSA confirmed to be true, of Charlie Kirk saying that he has no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. That was just within 48 hours of his assassination. Now we're seeing this, that Ana Kasparian's revealing that he was interested in having her on his show. So just take for a moment and imagine a world where Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated, and imagine how his platform would have looked like today. We know that he wanted to platform Candace Owens, and his advisors at TPUSA told him, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. We see here that he actually texted Tucker Carlson, telling him that he was interested in having Ana Kasparian on his show. And if you don't know much about Ana Kasparian, she's great. I love listening to her on the Young Turks. I don't agree with all of her political points, but when it comes to Israel, she's just been spot on recently. And she's been one of the most vocal critics of Israel. And really, she has more courage than 99% of others. Hearing the way she talks about Israel, she's been threatened a lot on social media, still goes on. She's one of the hosts of the Young Turk. So her and Jank have been known as, kind of bridging this interesting divide between the left and the right, specifically when it comes to Israel. Seeing that somebody like Charlie Kirk, who's known as a conservative public figure, especially when it comes to the conservative youth in America, being interested in platforming somebody that most people would simply define as a left-leaning, a leftist or a liberal, is beyond me. We also know that Ben Shapiro obviously wasn't the biggest fan of Charlie Kirk's shift and how he was changing when it comes to his regards of Israel. We also didn't know. We also are starting to realize, you guys might have seen just a couple of days ago, actually. Let me go ahead and share my screen and show you guys this. There it is. This is also Candace Owens' text between her and Charlie that she recently revealed. And it was about how Ben Shapiro was getting mad that Candace Owens' platform was growing. You are bigger than Ben now. Walking into the White House yesterday, I realized that. I know he hates it. We just have to treat him like noise. He wants you to punch down to him. And it just goes on and on and on. So seeing like behind closed doors, how they speak and what's kind of going on, it starts again. The Ben thing involves me more than he wants to admit. He knows Jon Snow is stronger as the dragon flies higher. He's referring to Game of Thrones, of course. And if you look at the bottom part here of the last thing Charlie sent, it's worse. He views you as my slave. 100% control her is what he was really saying to me when he called. That's absolutely crazy. So just seeing how much things have shifted in Charlie Kirk's views and what was actually going on behind the scenes here when it came to his stance and his views regarding Ben Shapiro as well. And then I think that there's a bit more I wanted to show you guys here. Oh, these are the messages that I was previously talking to you guys about. Charlie Kirk. And then a lot of people have already seen this. Of course, this was months back now. Just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. And I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody responded, "Ugh, we don't know who sent that, but a lot of people are saying, I think, believe it's Josh Hammer. Jewish donors play into all stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause." That's the most damning part of this entire message thread. Somebody responded, "Please don't invite Candace. That might feel short-term, but feel good short-term, but it's not good long-term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times." I know that Josh Hammer was in this chat. I don't know exactly which individual he was, but we know he's very anti-Candace. He's very pro-Israel. He's a staunch Jewish Zionist. So it's crazy. This is somebody that he's an evangelical Christian, which is also one of Israel's Israel's strongest supporters here in the United States when it comes to demographics. And seeing that just within 48 hours of him being assassinated, he is talking about leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. That's absolute insanity to me. And imagine how the political discourse would be today had Charlie Kirk not been assassinated, and how that would have affected Israel. Charlie Kirk was known as he had the largest mainstream public platform when it came to younger conservatives. Of course, now Nick Fuentes is on the rise, but when it really comes to the mainstream narrative, he really held that position. And when it comes to the mainstream narrative that's affecting younger conservatives, he held that position absolutely with TPUSA. So imagining the shift then of how Israel would respond, knowing that one of the largest public figures that it relies on within the conservative party to elicit support for Israel is now starting to drift away from the cause. And we see Megyn Kelly as well. I wouldn't say she's drifting away from the cause, but definitely she's been a lot more critical than she's ever been before. Of course, she says that she's still on Israel's side and whatnot, but she also said that people are trying to tell her to stop talking about certain things and to condemn Tucker and to condemn Candace. So if Charlie was here and all of this was going on, what public figure would Israel have on the right that has as much of reach as those four individuals, Megyn, Charlie, Candace, Tucker, that are still pro-Israel? It would have been very few to none, aside from your standard bought-out politicians. And then, of course, there are individuals like Ben Shapiro that would have always been fervently pro-Israel. Politicians, of course, like Randy Fine as well. So the political discourse would be so much different. And a lot of people remember that immediately, very soon after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Ben Shapiro put out what I think is probably one of the most grotesque text messages, X posts I've ever seen, which is him saying that he's ready now to pick up Charlie's blood-stained microphone. If anything screams opportunistic, it's that. I'm gonna, if I can pull up this message while we're chatting, it's just the way he wrote it just disgusted me. Like, this man has passed away, regardless of you feel of Charlie, and now you're like, perfect opportunity to just grow my platform now and think that I'm doing a good thing for people. It was probably one of the most. It felt so insincere. It felt so opportunistic. Let's see if I can find it here. Pick up blood-stained microphone. I'm just going to search up those exact words on X. Oh, here it is. It was actually a video. He said that actually in a video. So let's see if I can go ahead and play that for you guys.
For a college tour. That's bullshit.
Okay, here we go.
I saw those rumors. Now, it's still up to us. I saw a lot of rumors online today. I was made aware of this by my team. That I canceled some sort of college tour. That's bullshit. I saw those rumors. They are false. I will be coming to college campuses, many of them this year. So will we all, I am sure, because we're Americans and we're not going to be deterred. Charlie's voice is not silent. We're going to pick up that blood-stained microphone where Charlie left it. And to those who would intimidate, who would seek to stop us, who would seek to end free discussion, who believe that they have ownership over public spaces and can violently...
There it is. How great for him that he just is going to be right there to pick up where Charlie left off, and take the reins and bestow upon American youth the parasitic relationship between the United States and Israel. How wonderful. So that's kind of the situation now at hand. I'm just going to go through a few of the comments here. Charlie Kirk and Anna would have been a banger on this subject. Completely agree, and I think it would have been a really interesting conversation as well. Charlie's pretty well spoken, so that would have been cool to see. Thanks, Wally, for all your work. Thanks for your support, drummer. And so that's really about it for this video. Pretty interesting to hear Anna's revelation regarding Charlie being interested in platforming her. If you guys found this video interesting, make sure to click the subscribe button below. Otherwise,